Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to bring back something that I used to do quite a lot, and I've not done it for quite a long time now, and that is a bit of a walkthrough through a crit race. This was the first town centre crit of the year. It was down in Warwick, and it was actually sponsored by the Cycling GK, which I'm sure a lot of you will know who that is. But this town centre crit was about as traditional and as standard as it comes. It was technical. There was tight turns. There was narrow sections, big high curbs that you would potentially lose your life on. It was right up my street. Now, first things first, I just want to premise this with saying that this was the same day as Lincoln Grand Prix. So yeah, a lot of the strong riders that would potentially have been at this race were at Lincoln Grand Prix. So it was kind of the sandbagging option, but I'm in no fit state to be racing the British National Series, and a town centre crit it would seem like the better option for this day. Very quickly before we jump into this video, one of my sponsors, Win Your Dream Bike, their next draw is ending the day after this video gets published, the 31st of May, and this month they're giving away a very interesting, a very special bike. It's a 1 of 100 Vector, which is a British brand. Comes with full Shimano Dura-Ace Di2. The bike's worth nearly £12,000. So if you want to be in with the chance of winning this bike for just a fiver, click the link in the description down below. It'll take you straight to the Win Your Dream Bike website, and you can purchase your ticket or 10. So here we go, we're kicking things off with the bike race. You can see the circuit from the top right corner. There's lots of turns, lots of tight turns, and lots of fast points in the race. Now, this is the start, and I said it was super important to be starting this race on the front foot. It's a very hard circuit to be able to, to move up through the bunch. As you can see here, it's just tight, and it's fast from the gun. So it's important that we started on the front, because this is a race where you can just literally ride hard on the front and it's going to get spat out the back. With the elastic effect, as you kick out of the corners, riders are going to be drifting off the back and having to make massive efforts to jump back onto the wheel and back in the bunch. It's just, believe it or not, it's actually easier to spend a little bit more effort to stay at the front than it is to just cruise and start easy at the back for this reason. Now, I had 2 Ribble Collective teammates in this race, so there was 3 of us in total, and I said this to the other 2 boys, we need to start on the front, we need to start on the front foot, and we just need to ride flipping hard. So yeah, I managed to slot myself into third wheel, and these 2 fellas in front of me, as you can see from our speed here, we're at like 25, 27 miles an hour. We're just riding hard. We are riding hard, and you can't see, unfortunately, I didn't have my camera facing backwards today, but I can assure you, people were already getting distance from behind, at the back. So we've been riding for a couple of laps now. We are still in the same formation. The chap in the front, he has just gone off a little bit on the front. I don't think he's attacking. He's just riding hard, and the fella in front of me, behind him, just couldn't hold the wheel. So I decided to come around as he stacks it. There you go. The first crash of the day. You will, as this video progresses, you're going to see that was a little bit of a problem corner. Unfortunately, yeah, he crashed. I think what he did was he hit the white line and he just slid out. I mean, it was a dry day, so the road wasn't slippy, but you can never 100% trust the white lines and the white writing. It's always, because it's a little bit smoother than the tarmac, it's a little bit more slippy, and if you bank it too hard, things like that happen. But it's just one of them. You can't let it phase you, because as soon as you let it phase you and you back off the pedals, it becomes easier for the people behind you. And we're trying to ride hard in order to split the groups. So as you can see, I'm on the front here. I'm just keeping it kind of consistent at like 450, 500 watts, trying to keep the pace as high as I can, line it out. And what you'll see that I'm doing here is, after every turn, I'm kicking out of the turn. So like for the immediate riders behind me, it's fine for them. They're just kind of following the flow of the rider. But then the people behind that, they are getting stretched and are having to make bigger digs and bigger efforts to get back on the wheel. And that's what we want, because a circuit like this that's super technical, you don't want to be in a big group. You want to be in a small group. And I think it took about now 8 minutes, even 10 minutes I think it was, at the point when I looked back, and we were down to just 6 riders. So I flick off here, I've done my turn, a couple of riders come through. There's Ben, one of my teammates, and yeah, like I said, we're down to 6 riders. There was 60, I think, that started this race. So yeah, within 10 minutes, I looked behind and I was like, yo, this is the race, this is the move. Let's not get dropped now, because this is it's pretty much going to be the 6 of us that are going to go to the line. We had 3 me, Ben, and my other Ribbled Collective teammate Tom, all three of us had made this move. So for us, it was like the perfect race. And I just said to the boys at this point, I was like, right, we just want to keep riding for now as a 6. And then once we get a gap, once we establish a distance that's so big, it's impossible for us to get caught by any riders behind. We'll start riding a bit more tactical and try and get away and yes, make a plan as to how we're going to win this race. So as you can see here from the screen, we've got a couple of riders on the left hand side just backing off, letting us come through. And what these guys are now, they are being lapped by our group of 6. So we're riding full gas, we're racing, you know. This is a short circuit. I think it was like 800 meters, 900 meters, so it's less than a kilometer circuit. So it is inevitable that the back markers, the ones that have been dropped, are going to be getting lapped fairly soon. And yeah, it took 20 minutes into the race before we started lapping riders. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, especially in these kind of short circuit, fast, technical town centre crits, because you're constantly, you know, a big factor that comes into the race is the fact that you're having to dodge these riders. So Ben has attacked, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see he's just got a gap. One rider has tried to go with him, and my job now, because he's my teammate, I'm not going to chase that gap. I'm just going to sit behind these guys, and it is down to them. It's their job to chase this move and to bring it back. So yeah, I've kind of got an armchair ride at this point. I mean, I say armchair, I'm still having to ride super hard out of the corners. Like, look, 800, 900, 1,000 watts just to get back on the wheel. But essentially, I'm not the one having to do the chasing. It's, yeah, pretty basic race tactics. We've got the numbers. 50% of this group is my team, is the Ribble Collective. So we're in a perfect position. And it's our race to throw away at this point. Like I said before, we're starting to lap riders already. We're 25 minutes into the race and we are lapping riders left, right and center. Now, we can see a rider up in front of us and the guys are shouting, you know, passing, we're passing. But as you're about to see, one of the riders that's been lapped here, he just stays on the left-hand side on the racing line and boom, causes a crash. He causes a crash. I'm going to replay that so you can kind of watch it again. And what this rider should have done is backed off here, so much so that the group can come through and take whatever line possible. But as you can see, the rider in front of me has to diverge, has to move from the racing line in order to not ride straight into the rider on the left-hand side. Now, I don't know what that rider was thinking. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, maybe a little bit of inexperience there. I mean, I get the fact that he's still racing as well. But yeah, at this point in the race, riders are split everywhere. There's you know, it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer. I don't know what the solution is to that. I guess you don't really want to be taking people out of the race that have been lapped 20 minutes into the race because they've paid their 20 or 30 pounds entry fee. You know, it's a tough situation for the organisers and for us as racers. We're trying to race our own race without needing to worry and contend with the riders that have been lapped. So yeah, it's a sticky situation. It's one of them. I don't know what the answer to that is, but yeah, I still firmly believe it's happened to me many times before where I have been lapped in a race. So what I would do is, as soon as I can see that the race is approaching, I do whatever I can to get out of the way, whether that's stopping on the inside to let them have a free line, or to let them take the race line, or move to the outside so I'm completely out of the way of the race and I'm not going to affect it or influence it in any way, shape or form, which unfortunately in this situation, the rider that you saw there on the inside didn't do, perhaps. But anyway, it is what it is. As you can see now, everyone is attacking. We've got another rider trying to go across to Ben, and I've got the St. Piran rider who was also in the breakaway. He is in front of me. So I'm leaving it down to him to chase the gap again, obviously. And yeah, again, simple race tactic. We want to have numbers up the road and we want to take as many people out of the back as possible. So Ben's up the road with one other rider. We've got Tom, my other teammate, on my wheel, and we are just riding behind the St. Piran rider, waiting for our opportunity, and there it is. So Tom kind of sensed that the St. Piran rider, my old team, he sensed that the rider was starting to maybe tire a little bit and the pace was dropping. So that was the time that Tom wanted to attack to try and get across to Ben, who is now with one other rider. Therefore, again, we would be in a situation where it was 2v1. yeah, as I said before, the simple tactics here is I'm not going to jump, I'm not going to chase my teammate. Oh, you see that? Straight on the curb. Yeah, decent riding. That was some decent techers there. But as I was saying, I'm sat behind the St. Piran rider. Again, another lap rider trying to, oh, yeah, that was close. But anyway, I'm sat here, I'm waiting to see if the St. Piran lad manages to bring Tom back or if he doesn't. Tom's gone, he's away, the gap's grown again. I've sat on this rider for the last few laps, and I now think, all right, it's my turn to hit him. Now this is brutal race tactics, just using the other riders in the race, just, yeah, squeezing them for every little ounce of energy that they've got. But I've been on the receiving end of this before, and it's just racing tactics. You know, I've been in a situation where I've been in a breakaway and there's been multiple riders from another team. It just is what it is. You know, I'm friends with the St. Piran rider, Tom. Yeah, he understands it's racing. I understand it's racing, and it's just what we've got to do. So yeah, I went on the attack, on the offensive, managed to drop the lad behind me. And I'm on a mission now to try and catch the guys in front. Now, what I probably did, the little mistake that I made here, which maybe, I don't know, it's a combination, I think, of lack of fitness, lack of, you know, being able to actually do this, and maybe a little bit of lack of race craft, because it's like my first crit of the year. What I should have done is not let the gap to the guys in front of me get too big before I decided to jump across, because, yeah, I will let you into a little secret, I didn't actually manage to catch anyone now in front of me for the entire race. So the crit is 1 hour long. We're 31 minutes into the race, and I am just in no man's land now for the rest of the race. Yeah, I mean, the only guys I'm picking off is lap riders that were coming around to lap again. But essentially, I am 4th man on the road here. 2 teammates ahead of me. One Spectra rider, I think it was. So yeah, in terms of like my team, we were in a perfect position here, but I just was too far back to be able to, yeah, I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the gas, I didn't have the fitness to be able to bridge that gap, especially when you've got 3 guys racing full gas at the front of the race. Me to do that on my own, I would have to be much fitter than I currently am to be able to do that. But at least we had 2 guys in front, you know, my teammates, so it wasn't all that bad. And yeah, we managed to drop Tom, managed to drop the St. Piran rider behind us and take him out of the race. So from a race tactical point of view, as a team, we're in the perfect position. Now there's not much more to show you from this race, and we're 30 minutes in and it's pretty much already over. But I just ride around now for the remaining 30 minutes, checking behind me every few turns to check the St. Piran rider hasn't managed to close the gap. So we're coming through the last couple of laps now, and Ben has attacked the group solo. He is the 2 other riders that he was with. He decided, I'm not going to leave this to a sprint, and I'm going to attack, and I'm going to go solo. And Ben, yeah, I mean, fair play to him. He's a top lad, and he is absolutely flying. And he managed to go off solo, drop his 2 breakaway compatriots, and even lap the rest of the bunch. So yeah, he came around and lapped me here. So I think I'm just kind of shouting him some words of encouragement, saying, "Go on, lad." And I'm just going to follow him in now. This is his final lap. He had no one behind him. I was on my own. He was on my own. So yeah, I mean, fair play to Ben. He went on and got the win, won it solo in style. And here I'm coming up to the finish, about 300 meters to go. Now this is one of the key reasons why I said that you didn't want to be in a big group to come to the finish, because as you can see here, we've got this sharp left-hand turn where there's already been two crashes today, a little speed bump there, and we've got a sharp right-hand turn on these cobblestones, and the finish line is there. So, you know, if you came in with a big group into that finish, it would have been hectic. It would have been totally hectic, and no doubt there would have been more crashes than there actually was. So yeah, I think the tactics of going on the offensive from the early doors, trying to split that group, it was perfect. And I think as a team, yeah, we raced this well. We raced this race about as well as we could have done. So yeah, 4th on the day for me. Not a bad start to the crit season. Definitely some work to do, but yeah, it was nice to be out with the boys, out with my new teammates. I hope you enjoyed this little race walkthrough, talk through thing, commentary, whatever you want to call it. Leave a like if you enjoyed it and you want to see some more of these. And with that being said, I'll see you in a new video very soon.